Welcome to this meditation for Ostara for AsteriSofiaKairos, the first light. Across this series of meditations, we'll move gently through the turning of the year, following both the rhythms of the heavens above and the turning of the wheel of the year here on earth. Through the movements of the sun, at each seasonal gateway, we pause to listen to the sky, to the land, and to the quiet wisdom within ourselves. These moments invite us to slow down and reconnect with the deeper cycles that shape both nature and our own lives. The sky above us is always in motion. Planets are moving. The moon is changing through her serpentine journey. The heavens turning through their ancient cycles. And yet within those great movements there is quiet order. A living rhythm that has guided human life for thousands of years. As we begin this meditation, we pause to listen to the breath, to the body, and to the subtle conversation between the heavens above and the life unfolding here on earth. These quiet moments help us reconnect with something that we often forget in the rush of daily life, our own inner knowing, a steady wisdom that lives within the body and speaks most clearly when we slow down enough to hear it. In this moment, we step out of ordinary time and we enter sacred time, Kairos. Today we honour Ostara, the Spring Equinox. Day and night stand in perfect balance. The sun enters the first degree of Aries and the astrological year begins again anew. At this gateway of the zodiac, the sun rises into its exaltation, welcomed by the fiery guardians of this place in the sky. Mars, the sign ruler, the decan ruler, the initiator, and Jupiter, the bound ruler, the keeper of vision and meaning. Winter loosens its hold. The darkness recedes. The earth breathes again. And something within us begins to awaken with it. Before we continue, allow yourself to settle somewhere comfortable. You may wish to sit upright, lie down, or walk while you do this meditation, whatever feels better for your body. Let your hands rest easily by your side. There's nothing you need to achieve during this meditation or do. Know where you need to be. Simply listen, breathe, and allow the story to unfold naturally in your imagination and in your mind's eye. If your mind wanders, that is completely natural. Just return gently to the rhythm of your breathing and the sound of my voice. And when you feel ready, allow your eyes to soften or close, whichever you prefer. Bring your attention to your breathing. And allow it to gently slow as you take a breath in and exhale softly. With every breath in, imagine drawing in the quiet stillness of the sky. With every breath out, allow your body to soften, settle, and release any tension that you may be holding from your day, your week, or your month. The heavens move slowly above us, and with each breath you are learning to move with them. Join me in this visualization. In your imagination, it is dawn on the morning of the equinox. You find yourself standing at the base of a wide hillside. The air is cool and fresh. As you breathe it in, you notice it carries the scent of damp earth and the faint sweetness of new blossoms. Beneath your feet, the soil feels soft, still holding the moisture of the winter rain. As you look around you, you see soft green shoots pushing gently through the dark ground. Maybe you reflect on how life is beginning to stir again and wake up after the long slumber of winter. Above you, Notice how the sky is beginning to glow with delicate colours as the sun is beginning to rise. How many colours can you see? Maybe soft rose, pale gold, and a quiet blue stretching across the higher sky. The sun isn't fully risen yet, but the horizon is just shining with promise of a new day, of a new astrological year. What can you hear? Maybe the birds are singing the dawn chorus, and perhaps nearby you hear the gentle sound of running water, the small stream winding through the meadow below. You're walking along a path and there's a hedgerow along the side. You see the first white blossoms of hawthorn opening quietly to the morning light. As you pass, a bird lifts from the branches and then disappears into the sky. And across the meadow, you see a hare moving swiftly across the grass, alert and lively with the energy of spring. Maybe you reflect that this is a place of beginnings, that you've reached a threshold between seasons, a moment where the old cycle is releasing its hold and the new one is quietly beginning. You follow the narrow path that you're on as it's winding upwards across the hillside. As you move upwards, you feel your body getting warmer. You notice it first in your chest, the warmth, then along your spine, through your shoulders and your arms. You feel the energy pulsing through your body. Ahead on the path, you see a figure standing beside a young tree, and you notice that its green leaves are about to unfurl. The figure's presence is steady and alert. It appears strong and yet calm. You've reached the spirit of Mars, ruler of Aries and the Decan ruler, the guardian of this threshold that the sun is passing. Mars is standing quietly alert, watching as the hillside awakens. Mars is understanding this moment when life is ready to move forwards. Beside Mars, resting lightly in the grass, you notice that there lies a double-bladed axe. Its surface is catching the faint gold of the rising sun. As you approach Mars, he lifts the axe and places it gently into your hands. It's offered to you as a tool rather than a weapon, a tool that can clear the way. As you hold it, feel its balanced weight. How does it feel to you? Maybe solid, purposeful. As you look ahead along the path, you now notice fine threads stretched lightly across it. You couldn't see them before. They were almost invisible in the early light. But now, as you hold this axe, they're more noticeable to you. These are threads of old doubts, old expectations, old stories that no longer belong to the season that you're moving into. Mars nods at you quietly. With calm intention, when you feel ready, lift the axe and cut through the threads. One by one, allow them to fall away. You might even want to name them as you cut through each one. With every thread that falls, allow your breathing to deepen. Notice that maybe your body feels lighter. and you begin to see the path ahead looking clearer. You feel Mars's quiet approval. And you reflect that maybe sometimes courage doesn't mean forcing life forward, just being willing to begin. When you've finished, you hand the axe gently back to Mars, and he places it beside the tree, now that your path ahead is clear. When you're ready, thank Mars and take your leave, continuing to walk. Grateful that you've been able to clear those stories, those commitments, those expectations away from your life so simply. The hillside widens now as you climb this clearer path, and soon it opens onto a broader plateau that's overlooking the valley below. From this new height, you can see rivers winding through green fields below you. You can see forests stretching across distant hills. You hold your breath at the expanse of the view. You can even see mountains standing quietly, guarding the far horizon. As you scan the expanse of this view that you're appreciating, you become aware of another presence you hadn't noticed when you first arrived, but it's warm and expansive. It moves closer, welcoming you, and you realize that you're meeting Jupiter, keeper of vision and meaning. Jupiter points across the landscape and seems to be explaining to you that the valleys and paths below represent the many directions that life can take. Some might feel familiar to you, but others could feel new, bold, or unexpected. The familiar ones you may have trodden many times, been down those paths expecting different outcomes, and yet somehow the same results keep happening. Is it time now for a new, different path? Jupiter doesn't ask you to decide. He invites you to simply breathe and look. He's reminding you that life is wider sometimes than it appears when we're so caught up in the details of daily concerns. Jupiter asks you, of these paths that you can see, where does your life feel most alive with meaning? What kind of path allows your spirit to grow? You don't need to answer it now. You can wait and see if an answer arises in the days or weeks that follow as we move through this new season of Aries. Allow the question to rest gently within you. And allow an answer to arise naturally whenever it will, in its own time. As you stand beside Jupiter, just breathing in the air, enjoying the view, you notice that the horizon is brightening. You can now see the sun rising above the horizon as its golden light is spilling across the valley. You see the rivers begin to shine as they reflect its light. The fields begin to glow with the colour. The birdsong responds and gets brighter and louder. You're watching this first sunrise in Aries, radiant in its exaltation. You feel this warmth of the sun reach you. Warms your face, your shoulders, your chest. moves through your whole body. The sun is reminding you of something profoundly simple and yet so powerful. You're alive. Your life carries its own light. The sun doesn't compete with the other lights in the sky, it simply shines in its own way. And in doing so, it brings life to everything it touches with its light. Allow that warmth to fill you now, to refresh your vitality, to inspire your creativity, to awaken your sense of purpose anew. There's nothing to do but breathe as you watch this light grow stronger, the valley becoming more vibrant with colour, the wildflowers that are scattered across the fields open and move their faces to watch the sun and follow its path across the day. The orchards are beginning to blossom, and near the stream below, you see two hares chasing each other playfully through the grass, full of that joyful energy of the spring. The seeds that slept through winter are breaking open beneath the soil, and you sense that movement in the earth under your feet. Life is moving forward again. It's ready, quietly, but also inevitably. Mars gave you the courage to walk this new path, and Jupiter has opened your vision. The Sun has rekindled your life force, and together they're offering you the beginning of a new cycle. In the full light of morning now, you notice a path descending gently from the plateau that you were on, down back into the valley. This is the path of the new astrological year. You do not need to see the entire journey, where it's going to lead, which paths will open up, which ones you will choose yet. You only see this next step, this first pathway. You're reminded of Mars standing there with the axe, Jupiter on the plateau and the sun shining above you. And take a quiet moment before you leave and ask yourself, what beginning is awakening in your life now? What step would honour this courage within you? And what direction allows your spirit to grow? Allow the answers to arise gently and in their own natural timing. The year has only just begun. And so you begin walking down the path. And as you do, the landscape begins to soften. The hillside begins to fade and the valley dissolves into light. But as it does, you breathe in, knowing that you have courage, vision, and a rekindled life force. And then exhale, releasing any resistance to leaving behind old patterns that you've outgrown now. Breathe in, knowing that Mars has given you courage, Jupiter is offering you vision, and the Sun has rekindled your life force. And then exhale any resistance to leaving behind old patterns that you've outgrown. Breathe in, knowing that Mars has given you courage, Jupiter has opened your vision, and the Sun has rekindled your life force. And exhale, releasing any resistance to the release to the cutting away of any old patterns that you've outgrown. You descend down the path. The hillside fades and the valley dissolves into light of day. Bring your awareness back to your breathing. Inhale slowly and exhale gently. Become aware of your body resting where you are and the noises around you in the room that you're in. As you return to the rhythm of your day, carry with you the quiet gifts of this turning season. May the courage of Mars help you begin what is ready to be started. May the wisdom of Jupiter guide you towards paths that bring meaning and growth. And may the radiant light of the exalted sun in Aries remind you that your life carries its own warmth, purpose, and vitality. The new astrological year has opened. The light has returned. And within you, something new is beginning. May the wisdom of the stars guide your path. May the rhythm of the heavens steady your breath. And may you walk forward in quiet trust, remembering that the sky above and the life within you move in the same sacred rhythm until we meet again beneath the turning heavens. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Travel well, friends.